What's up, GlowLiners? Get ready for a lightning-fast rundown of the news that's shaking things up. We're diving deep into the explosive aftermath of Charlie Kirk's shooting, uncovering how Iran-linked networks are amplifying false claims. And the fallout continues as Jimmy Kimmel's controversial remarks about Charlie Kirk's shooting have led to his show being pulled indefinitely by ABC. But it's not just about the immediate reactions. We're also exploring the opinion that Charlie Kirk's death represents an existential threat to America, raising serious questions about the nation's future. And finally, we're confronting the disturbing spread of graphic videos online in the wake of the shooting, examining how these images are impacting viewers and our political landscape. Don't miss a second, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. Iran-linked networks are reportedly amplifying false claims following the recent shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Researchers have identified that these Iran-aligned media and online groups, alongside Russian and Chinese actors, are pushing narratives that are either outright false or highly inflammatory in the wake of this significant event. This coordinated effort to spread misinformation highlights the complex and often dangerous landscape of information warfare surrounding high-profile incidents, raising concerns about the manipulation of public opinion and the potential for further division. The implications of this misinformation campaign are significant, especially given the sensitive political climate. The involvement of state-linked actors in amplifying such narratives after a violent act underscores the global reach and impact of disinformation tactics. It's a stark reminder that in our hyper-connected world, events can quickly become battlegrounds for influence operations. Audience impact. Online communities are abuzz with discussions about the veracity of news surrounding the Kirk shooting, with many users expressing concern over the deliberate spread of false information and its potential to sow discord. Don't go anywhere, because the ripple effects of this shooting are far from over. Next, we'll dive into the controversial comments that got Jimmy Kimmel's show pulled from the air. Jimmy Kimmel's late-night show has been pulled from ABC's schedule indefinitely following his remarks about the fatal shooting of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. The controversial comments, made on September 14th, involved implications about the identity of the suspected gunman, Tyler Robinson, and included mocking remarks directed at Donald Trump's reaction to Kirk's death. Kimmel's commentary touched on the political polarization surrounding the event, highlighting how even tragic incidents are quickly framed within partisan divides. The decision by ABC to suspend the show indefinitely comes after significant pressure, including a statement from Nexstar Media Group, the largest owner of local TV stations, which announced it would no longer air Kimmel's program in its markets due to his offensive and insensitive comments. Furthermore, the chairman of the FCC, Brendan Carr, had threatened to hold ABC, Disney, and Kimmel accountable, calling the host's words truly sick and alleging an intentional effort to mislead the public. Kimmel had planned to address his remarks on his show. Audience impact. The indefinite cancellation has sparked a fierce debate online, with strong reactions from both supporters and critics of Kimmel, further intensifying the discussion around free speech, political commentary, and media responsibility. But the story of Charlie Kirk's death has implications far beyond late-night television. Coming up, we explore the perspective that this tragedy represents an existential threat to America itself. The assassination of Charlie Kirk is being framed not just as a personal tragedy, but as a fundamental and existential threat to the United States. This viewpoint argues that Kirk's death is a direct consequence of a culture of violence and eliminationism, largely emanating from one side of the political spectrum, fueled by divisive rhetoric in media and classrooms. The piece draws parallels to other incidents of political violence, suggesting a pattern that endangers the nation's foundation. This perspective posits that the current political climate has devolved into a battle for the soul of our country, pitting dark versus the light, and that shrinking from the political arena is no longer an option. It calls for a decisive crackdown on the forces perceived to be inciting violence and working to annihilate our nation. The piece emphasizes the need for Americans to choose sides and act, not with violence, but with legal and rational means. Inspired by Kirk's own advocacy for defending the vulnerable, reviving the American family, and exercising Christian charity. Audience impact. This opinion piece has ignited passionate debate, with many agreeing that political violence is a growing concern, while others question the characterization of the threat and the proposed solutions. While the political implications are being debated, the raw imagery of the event itself is also causing shockwaves. Stay with us as we look at how videos of the shooting are spreading online, even to those who don't want to see them. Videos capturing the moment of Charlie Kirk's shooting have rapidly spread across the internet, reaching millions of viewers within minutes of the event. What's particularly alarming is that this graphic content is often appearing not just through active searching, but also passively in social media feeds, sometimes playing automatically. Experts like Utah Governor Spencer Cox and researchers emphasize that humans are not biologically equipped to process such violent imagery, and repeated exposure can lead to significant psychological distress, including anxiety, emotional numbness, nightmares, and symptoms of PTSD. This proliferation of graphic violence in the political sphere is becoming increasingly inescapable, blurring the lines between news consumption and exposure to traumatic events. Researchers note that while the direct impact on political views is hard to quantify ethically, such imagery can heighten emotions, foster fear and vulnerability, and even encourage calls for retaliation. The concern is that the constant exposure to violent acts in politics, amplified by social media algorithms that reward extreme content, could normalize political violence and make it seem like an acceptable outcome for those with strong disagreements. Audience impact. Viewers are expressing distress and concern over the involuntary exposure to graphic violence, with many calling for greater platform accountability and media literacy to combat the negative mental health effects and the potential for radicalization. We've covered the misinformation, the media fallout, the existential threat, and the disturbing spread of imagery. But what's next for the discourse surrounding these explosive events? And that's your GlowLine News Blast. We've seen Iran-linked networks spreading lies after Charlie Kirk's shooting, Jimmy Kimmel's show get pulled for his comments, the argument that Kirk's death is an existential threat to America, and the disturbing viral spread of shooting videos. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to GlowLine for more, hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Follow us on all social platforms for more breaking news.